Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Serious the Warlock here, and welcome to my Affliction RBG damage guide. I hope this video helps some people out. Let me just say, the difference between what I used to do in RBGs and as Affliction and what I do now is night and day. I used to just apply my dots and I would like soulburn soul swap them on a target and then immediately soul swap them back off and just copy and paste them everywhere, and that was it. I just mongoloided spam my dots without really paying attention to the really important details that boost your damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go over stat priorities, gems, enchants, glyphs, talents, professions, when to pop your cooldowns, and all kinds of stuff. So alright, I'm just going to jump right into this real quick. So I'm going to try to keep this a really short video because although this is going to help people in the rest of 5.4, everything that I'm talking about is going to go away as soon as Warlords of Draenor come out. The reason they're getting rid of dot snapshotting. So this whole thing that I'm going to talk about, the whole basis of round doing a lot of damage as Affliction right now, is dot snapshotting and paying attention to when your procs go off and swapping at the right times, because you want to try to preserve the maximum damage that you can while you're swapping around to all of your targets, and you want the duration on those dots to be as long as possible. All that changes when the next expansion comes out because they're removing dot snapshotting. So although I really wanted to get this video out for you guys, I told everyone that I was going to get it out. This is only going to help you for one PvP season, and then it's back to the books to figure out exactly how everything's going to work in the next expansion. Okay, so here we go. Stat priorities. Let's start off with that first. For Affliction, I know in the very beginning of Mists of Pandaria, I would say that Mastery was the way to go for Affliction. Mastery, Haste, then Crit. I am going back on my word on that now. It's definitely Haste, then Mastery, then Crit. After you're hit capped, of course. The reason is, when you actually look at the numbers, the Mastery does increase the damage of your dots, and your dots do hit a little bit harder when you're not taking Haste. But your dots tick faster with Haste. So when you actually do the damage on the target dummy, they come out to basically around the same amount of damage over time. There isn't that big of a difference. The difference comes in trying to get agony stacks up to 10 as quickly as possible, faster Malefic Grasp channels, faster fear casts, faster global cooldowns, like everything's quicker, and it just makes Affliction flow so much more fluently and brings everything together. And that's what I recommend. Haste, then Mastery, then Crit. After all the three of those, you worry about after you hit your 6% spell hit. Now, quick word on the 6% spell hit. If you're a human and you use a sword, you get 1% expertise, which converts over into 1% hit. So you get a free 1% hit. I don't even know how much hit that equals out to, but it's a good chunk just for using a sword. A lot of people don't pay attention to that specialization, sword specialization that humans have. I don't know if humans are the only ones or not, but use the damn sword, because a free 1% hit means you don't need to reforge into hit as much, and you can reforge into something else and take another 1% haste or another 1% mastery or something else. As far as enchants go, you really don't have that much of a choice when it comes to certain enchants. Certain things like the belt, you just take the belt buckle for the extra gem. There's only one enchant that you can use for your legs. There's only one enchant to use on your weapon. Don't be newbie and go for Windsong or whatever. Go for Jade Spirit. Don't get the lesser enchant for your legs. Get the purple one, or if it's purple, I don't know. It might be green and blue is the better one. I don't remember, but the only real choice that I think I had was the gloves. I went with Haste. The chest, I went with Resilience. Different things like that. For gems, blue gems are Haste and Hit. Red gems are Intellect and Haste. And yellow gems are just straight Haste. I actually wanted to bring up one more thing really quick. So for Affliction and Destruction, I actually have two different sets of gear. I have a haste set for Affliction and a mastery set for Destruction. And it's very easy to do because once you cap out your conquest for that PvP season and you have a full set of gear, you get your little achievement, whatever it is, that you hit like 27,000 conquest. And then from that point forward, you can finish off and buy more Grievous gear, which in next PvP season will be Prideful gear, and you can buy that with Honor. So you just do some random battlegrounds, have fun, pick up the rest of like an alt set, and you don't need to replace everything. You only need to replace the items that have gem slots on them. So you can see here that I have two different sets. One's called PvP, the other one's called PvP Affliction. And I only replace my gloves, my boots, my helm, my chest, my legs, my belt. I think that's about it. I mean, there's like 7 items that I'm replacing. Each one has gem slots. And the ones that don't have gem slots, like the necklace, that item is haste and mastery. My cape is haste and mastery. My the wrists are haste and mastery. So there are items that I was going to take anyway that work on both sets of gear. Because if I'm playing Destruction, I'm running with mastery, haste, crit. And if I'm running Affliction, I'm running with haste, mastery, crit. So it works out. You only have to replace and swap out those 7 pieces, and that way every time you want to play a different spec, you don't need to buy new gems, buy new enchants, reforge, and worry about all that stuff. You can take care of everything just by replacing those 7 items, or having a duplicate set of those 7 items, and then reforging those and getting those set up, and then just creating 2 different sets of gear in the profile and swapping between the 2. Next up, I'll talk about the talents really quick. Dark Regeneration, I feel like that one is mandatory. You want to combine that one in a macro along with your Healthstone. So let me bring up my macros really quick here. Now you can macro it together with the Healthstone, with Dark Regeneration. So it's Dark Regeneration, then your Healthstone, then Cauterize Master if you have your Imp out, and then Regeneration in case a Druid did Symbiosis on you, and that way you can rejuve yourself. So I put all those together in a macro, and Dark Regeneration is definitely the way to go. Definitely saves my ass a lot. After that is Shadow Fury. Shadow Fury I feel like is better than Mortal Coil because it has a less 15-second lower cooldown than Mortal Coil, and it's an AoE stun, so in a rated battleground you want to hit more than one person. It comes in really handy. Soul Link. Now you could run Dark Bargain as Affliction too, but I prefer Soul Link. You take 20% less damage passively across the board. You heal yourself and your pet slowly, like as you're spreading your dots around. And I just feel like it's more beneficial to learn to play with a pet, especially for like garden nodes and spell locking people when you're CC'd yourself, and there's all kinds of uses for it, playing with a pet rather than not playing with a pet. So I'd pick Soul Link. Unbound Will, there's no question you have to take this one. It saves my ass all the time. Having another trinket on a 1-minute cooldown is OP, and there's no way someone can cap on you without killing you, and it gets you out of CC to get inside carts and all kinds of stuff. Definitely a must-have. Grimoire Supremacy is also, I mean, if you're going to play with a pet, then this is the talent to take because your pets have a higher health pool, they deal more damage. It's a no-brainer. And then I also take Archimonde's Darkness because your bread and butter of your damage is just spreading dots all over. And for Affliction, Dark Soul increases the haste by 30%. So being able to do that like twice in a row, like 40 seconds straight, is damn near crazy. For Glyphs, the Variant Fears is just for looks. Take the Glyph of Nightmares. It works in RBGs as long as you don't take damage from the point where you mount up to the time you want to walk on water. Glyph of Unstable Affliction is a must-have. Siphon Life. I like that one too because it gives me a little bit of healing. And then Glyph of Hellstone, I feel like goes really well with the Dark Regeneration. Of all the glyphs that they have, this is these are the ones that I like the most. As far as professions go with whatever the hell you want, because although it matters right now in 5.4, as soon as the next expansion comes out and they remove dot snapshotting, it's not going to matter at all anymore. I'll explain briefly. If you're an alchemist and you take the flask that you can use in rated combat, I think it gives you like 320 standard intellect across the board nonstop. If, say, you take tailoring in its place, you get a cloak enchant that has a chance to proc 2,000 intellect for 20 seconds, and then it's got an internal cooldown before you can use it again. If you were a dragon slayer and you calculated it mathematically, I believe they come out to about the same thing. But when you're playing Affliction and you're a tailor and your cloak enchant goes off, there's a strong possibility that other procs are going to go off at the same time. Your PvP trinket, Jade Spirit, things like that. And if those three go off at the same time, your cloak enchant, your PvP trinket, and your Jade Spirit, then you pop Dark Soul and your PvP trinket and anything else that you have. Like, I'm also an herbalist, so I have Lifeblood. You pop all that at the same time, extend the duration of your dots, and start swapping it around for a very long period of time. You can continue to swap around those dots, doing an insane amount of damage. If you're really looking for a profession and you know it's only going to be temporarily really good, I decided to go with my alt warlock. I went tailoring and herbalist, and the tailoring for the cloak enchant proc, and I went herbalist for the Lifeblood. It's a crazy amount of haste that it gives you on a cooldown that you can actually macro together with Dark Soul and your PvP trinket and then Lifeblood. And when you pop them all together, it gives you an insane amount of damage, a lot of haste, because Dark Soul increases your haste by 30% and Lifeblood also increases your haste. So when you use them together, it gives you a lot of haste. That's where I'm going to go next. I'm going to talk about the damage, but I'm going to do that in my next video because this one's going about 12 minutes long. I need to take a break. Stay tuned. Watch the next video. I'm going to go just into the damage portion of Affliction and maybe something else. I don't know. I still haven't really put any thought into it, but damage is next. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and talk to you again really soon. Take care.